On Bulls. On today's episode, we'll be talking about news that Zach LaVine is officially getting a scope on his knee, what that means for his future. Also doing a season review for Zach LaVine. All that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, a member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. I'm Haize. That's Pat the designer. Pat, Zach LaVine, that came down officially. Shout out to Shams, who released the information that Zach LaVine will officially be getting a scope in the next couple of weeks, which carries a very promising and a good 4 to 6 week timeline on the return and being able to walk without pain. Add on another couple of weeks to that before Zach LaVine's back working out fully, depending on when exactly he gets this. Well, really, as long as it's in the next few weeks, Zach LaVine will be back by training camp. He'll be back for offseason. He won't miss really anything significant as far as any of the milestones over the course of the offseason. How do you feel about this news coming down for Zach LaVine?
It's great news, right? We went into this feeling like there was a little ominous feeling around it going into the offseason where we were like, yeah, he's supposed to, it's just a little small knee thing, right? Like, it's nothing major. And Zach was like, hey, we got to check it out with the doctors. Like, wait a minute, hold on. We talk about another MCL strain. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
But it's good to know that it's just a scope. He's going in, getting something cleaned up. That's kind of what we thought it was going to be. And it's realistically just that he didn't want to take 6 weeks out of this season because he felt like 50% of him would get you to the playoffs better than taking 6 weeks off, especially with all the injury concerns that had already been there. And then he's not able to play, not able to go, and you miss the playoffs altogether. Now, I don't know if that would have been the case, but I like that at a minimum we're here and it's still just the scope. He's going to have it in the offseason and it should be good to go, right? This to me is the one thing that solidifies him getting the max deal 110%. The 210 million, 110%. And it solidifies to me that he's gonna be okay. This is routine maintenance when you have a major knee injury. This is not, hey, Zach is blowing out his knee again. This is not, oh, Zach LaVine is struggling yet again. This is, hey, man, like it was a little sore. I wasn't able to play the way I wanted to. I wanted to be out on the court. Honestly, if it had happened earlier in the season, he probably would have had it in season and come back. That's as good of news as you can hope for, right? Like major surgery is my dad always said major surgery that don't got to happen to you.
That's funny.
So when I don't want to say like it's not major surgery, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not major surgery, but like to Zach LaVine it might be. But I feel like it's a great thing that at a minimum it's something as simple as a scope they can go and just clean it up.
Yeah, and that's really what that is. There's the scope for, just to quickly talk. I'm not a doctor, but just quick, there's two different types of it. You can
according to Google.
Yeah, you can get a scope that goes in to try to identify a larger issue, or you can get a scope that's meant to go in, clean some things out to relieve some pain. Which for anyone who's had a major knee surgery, at some point they have a scope. That's just the reality of it. And it was Zach LaVine's time to do that. Like you said, could he have gotten this surgery during the season? Yeah. But Zach LaVine made the call to say, hey, this is not structural. I want to help this team make the playoffs. I don't want to risk it. We already are down Lonzo. At that point in time, I think they were still down Caruso. So he made that decision. And shout out to him for making that and doing what he can to help this team try to win. Now, some people selfishly, I will say, are going to look at that and say, well, he hurt us in the playoffs. We should have. All that, listen, woulda, coulda, shoulda. At the end of the day, the long-term prognosis for Zach LaVine and his knee are both positive, and it's going to not only be good for this team in the long run once we re-sign him to a max deal, but it's also good prognosis for Zach LaVine and his career going forward. Like, everything that we've said prior still stands. you and me have both said, is Zach still going to need to rest on some back-to-backs? Absolutely. Are there going to be some times where there's a travel day and the team is a little bit weaker? They're going to look at Zach or Lonzo and say, hey, listen, Lonzo, it's your turn. Zach, it's your turn. Go ahead and stay. Don't even worry about traveling with us. We got this today. And hopefully they improve the team and the bench enough to where that's fine and that's doable. And we have the next man step up and we're still able to win those games. But that's just that's the reality of it. And it's not, like you said, and you made the great point. I love that you made that comparison yesterday. I think I was basically just, nodding my head and didn't really say much about it because, listen, Joel Embiid still needs to rest back-to-backs at times. That's going to be him for the rest of his damn career.
Yeah. It really is. When you think about it, right? And Zach, a much less injury-prone player. When you think about Zach's injuries, most of Zach being out has been health and safety protocols in the last 2 years. The ACL was how long? When did we get Zach? 2017? ACL's 2017.
Yeah.
He had an ankle injury in 18, had a quad injury in 2020, and he had knee soreness this year that he played through. That's a durable player. You know what I'm saying? So it's they're gonna have to manage how he uses his body because he's just going to continue down this path. But we're in 2022. We're talking about 5 years where he's having this is a knee cleanup for him. Like, that's good. It's not like he's going in for a scope every offseason. This is 5 years removed from the ACL. He's okay. And if the Bulls have to go in this and they have to say, hey, Zach, how you feeling tonight? Is the knee going to have a rest? That's the modern NBA. I get it. I don't like it either. Remember when they used to play 82 and every ticket you bought, you knew you were going to see your favorite player play? Those days are gone. Those days are over. That is okay, though. You know why? Basketball is a lot more fun on TV sometimes, depending on what the game is. But to me, I like watching it on TV. Excuse me. Unless I'm sitting courtside. I'm sitting courtside. Hey, y'all want to get us some tickets? Yeah, I'm saying the JV. We sitting courtside. I'm in that mode. But I just feel like the Bulls have gotten best case scenario on all fronts with this, right? Because now okay, he's healthy enough for me to pay him. It was literally just discomfort.
Well, I mean, and AK even said it in the postseason presser.
He knew.
Zach's knee is not going to play because everybody knows. Look, he saw so many doctors in the time where he stood out. He saw a doctor, then he went and saw the doctor that originally did the surgery, and everybody came back with the same thing: no structural damage. Even though they didn't announce it then, they knew he was more than likely going to have to go get a scope during the offseason. They knew that, and everybody prepared for this. It's not like hell. We still haven't gotten an official update on what's going on with Zoe's knee. Have you realized that?
I haven't. I don't know. Does it exist anymore?
We're another 6 weeks removed from the surgery, having gotten an update on what's going on with Zoe's knee. That's concern. Now that type of thing is concerning.
He feel like Jonathan Taze to me for the Blackhawks fans that know, bro. Like, we went like a year and a half, and it was like, hey, is he alive? Like, has anybody seen him or heard from him?
We did recently get a picture of him being at a gym in LA. So, maybe they'll just wait and say, hey, listen, Zoe's knee was fine. We about to open up training camp. Guess who's here? He's Zoe. Like, Zoe's here. We're good. They may just wait. I don't
just points at the camera and be like, watch this, and it does a dunk. Like,
you know what? I can see Zoe doing. You know what? No, they'll send it through LeVar Ball. He'll be like, my boy's playing this season. That's how it'll go. He'll be doing his little head nod like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin,
He do got a stone. That's why. Anyway, back to Zach. Man. No, I feel like that is funny. He's got such a stone cold.
Listen,
he's like a black stone cold, bro. Because all I remember is him walking into the ring.
Exactly.
He was at, what was that? It was SmackDown, I think. He walks in. I was like, that's crazy. Never mind. Anyway, no, but with Zach, bro, like this is best case scenario all the way around. And we know that he'll be back, and we know that he'll be good to go. And I also forgot to say the thumb injury. I guess like maybe he'll have to manage the thumb injury a little bit. But
no, the thumb. Remember, he said midseason, the thumb completely healed. That was one of that ligament completely healed, and that was why he was actually out with COVID. So, but the rest there, that thing healed. So we're not even worried about the thumb and the back thing. The back thing
was
was
from the
probably
knee.
overcompensating for the knee. So yeah,
Absolutely.
we're good. We're
We
good.
good. We're good.
What-
Pay him his money.
One other thing that's good is Built Bar. So imagine, listen, the beginning of this read, I'm telling y'all, this is not
1,000
me. I'm just
points for
going to
that
let y'all know right
transition.
now.
1,000 points for that.
Appreciate that. Imagine dipping your finger into that plastic tub of birthday cake frosting and then opening your eyes and realizing it was only 150 calories and 16 grams of protein. That's what it's like to eat a birthday cake puff from Built Bar. I just received my birthday cake puffs, and I have never had anything like this before. They're available right now, and we can't promise that they'll be there tomorrow. So get them today at built.com. And if you haven't tried the puffs, I'll tell you a little secret, because that's what friends do. A chocolate-covered marshmallow protein bar. Yeah, you heard me. Delicious flavored marshmallow covered in 100% real chocolate. Make every day your birthday with Built's chocolate cake puffs. Built has taken the delicious experience of biting into a fresh slice of birthday cake, enrobed it in 100% white chocolate, and added sprinkles. With 150 calories, 16 grams of protein, and only 9 grams of sugar, this limited time flavor is an amazing option if you're looking for a healthy way to get flavor and variety into your day. All Built Bar puffs are covered in 100% real chocolate. That means that with Built, you eat healthy and you actually enjoy eating it. And they're made with collagen protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently and provides a ton of health benefits. Go to built.com to get birthday cake puffs now. Go and use the promo code LOCK15 to get 15% off your order. That's promo code LOCK15 at built.com to get 15% off your order. All right, Pat. We got to do something that it's been a long time coming. I actually was, kind of thinking we may save this player for last, but since the news of Zach LaVine's knee and the positive prognosis there, we got to talk about Zach LaVine's season. We got to give it a grade. Zach LaVine's stats this season, we all know what they were. And I think sometimes people forget just how much higher they were before all the injuries started. He was right up there with anything DeMar DeRozan did. What's your outlook on Zach LaVine's season overall this past season?
Unreached potential,
but
when you look at what 50% of Zach LaVine is, it's still pretty freaking good. Offensively, at a minimum, right? Like he can still give you. He's still, I think, post us hearing about the knee injury, still a couple of 30-point games in there. Still some big scoring nights for Zach LaVine. Still some nights where he was able to help the Bulls do some good things there. I think the knee hindered him a lot. I almost got to give him like an incomplete. Like it's my homework back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing question 7. It is what it is. But I feel like I got to give him an incomplete, right? Because normally we do these evals. How do he play offensively? How do he play defensively? How did his game impact the game? When we feel like Zach's knee was healthy, which I think early in the season it was, right? Like the defense was, boom, Zach LaVine popping over, taking on the challenge. He's got it, bodied up. You running into him, he's not moving out of the way. He's doing good things. He's playing the passing lanes. Post knee injury, right? Like all we did all season was just like, who the heck's in the corner? Why is nobody guarding Zach's man in the corner? Zach, stop helping Booch and guard your man in the corner. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of feel bad. Like at a certain point, I'd have felt better if Zach just stood in the corner and waited for somebody to come over there. But we didn't get to see the consistent defense because of him not being able to cut and plan as much. So I feel like you almost got to give Zach LaVine an incomplete on this season. But I think he did help the Bulls a lot this season. I think he helped the Bulls in different ways, right? I think his passing IQ got a little bit better this season. I think the biggest thing that he can work on going into next season, and I think we both agree on this, he's got to become a better ball handler.
Oh,
he's got to become
a decision maker.
He can't create his own shot without being able to dribble.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Zach. So let's put Zach LaVine's season in perspective. I want to go month by month. And we always talk about the 50-40-90 player. In the month of October to start the season, Zach LaVine had every game that he played in November was over double digits. Every game was over 20 points except for one, and 2 of those games are over 30 points. Zach LaVine's averages for the month of October were 25 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists per game, a half is still a game. And his shooting totals were 48% from field goal, 40% from 3, and 94% from free throw. In the month of November, again, another 25.3 season, 48% from overall from the field, 37.8% from 3-point, 80% from free throw. And then the month of December, 27.8 points per game in the month of December, 52% shooting overall from the field, 47.7% from 3-point range, 80% from free throw range. And then January, 21 points overall, averaging for January, 22 points per game. In February, that's when everything started falling apart. And then even in March, this is after we now know he was less than 50% on his knee, 24 points per game from Zach LaVine in the month of March, 45.8% from field goal range, 37% from the 3-point range, and 80% from free throw range. Offensively, Zach LaVine has been elite. We know he has issues defensively. Nobody's taken away from that. But I think when you put those numbers in perspective, that half of those months, February, March, and April, which we didn't play very many games in April, and the postseason, Zach LaVine at that point we know was having knee issues. We know now that Zach LaVine needed to a scope to relieve that pain.
Yeah.
But Zach LaVine was an elite offensive player all season. What do you think about those numbers, Pat?
I agree. And here's the thing. It's not even about like we bring the defense into it, and I think we do want Zach to be a better defender, but I need Zach to be the offensive player that we think he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the NBA is right now. How many two-way players are in the league? I'm 15 that we care about. Yeah, I'm saying like maybe 10 that really can give you 20 plus a night and play dominant defense on you. Like, that's not the game anymore. Scoring wins games along with really good team defense. Now, the Bulls team defense absolutely needs to step up. But those numbers speak to what AK is trying to build and why he wants to build it around Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, what we lose sight of in this season based on how he played is not what he's been the last couple of years when he was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, over the last 2 years, we're talking about a player that averages 26 points a game. Like, what do y'all think what do people think we're going out to get better?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
and that's the thing. You have
40
some people
points
that,
a game?
You have some people that legitimately like. Let's be clear. Zach LaVine in a half hobbled season, because he was hobbled for half the year, was 12th in the whole entire NBA in scoring.
Yeah.
And you have people who legitimately with straight faces. And let me not say people. I don't care. A little bit of Petty Roosevelt's coming out. You have idiots that with straight faces are going to tell you, hey, we should just let Zach LaVine walk. In what era? In what universe? In what world? Well, I know Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness came in. You find me a multiverse in which you let a player that can easily be in the top 10 of scoring in the whole NBA walk because you don't like how they play defense.
In the last 2 years, he's averaged, and this is with a down season this year, 25.8, 4.8, and 4.7. And we know that his passing got better this season because he had to do it more. So it shows you what he can be. It shows you what he really is. I get the fear of, hey, if we pay this guy, is he going to be that continuously?
Mm-hmm.
That's the risk that comes with it. Guess what? Joel Embiid just got put out of the playoffs again. Is his knee going to be good to go next season? Do you think Philly's going to want to say, nah, we're done with Joel? You know what I'm saying? Like these are the conversations that you got to look at. And when you talk about Zach LaVine, he's a player that absolutely, yes, he can't. Are there things he needs to improve on his game? 100%. His defense, I think he was showing improvement on that, but you have to do more. You have to show more when you're healthy. The ball handling needs a little bit more. I think his IQ was higher when higher IQ players were on the floor with him. I think Billy Donovan can do a little bit in the scheme to help Zach LaVine get some more, not just, hey, let me put the team on my back and get this thing to the bucket looks. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But there's so much that he already does, and we've talked about him. This is the first season he hasn't gotten better in 5 years.
And only because
he had
a
one knee.
Yeah.
A knee and a half. My bad. I got to say a knee and a half. Yeah, I mean, like, so I love what Zach can give the Bulls. Like I said, it's an incomplete for me if I was gonna have to give a grade this season, because I think there's so much of his game that was hindered by the knee, including his shooting percentages. His shooting percentages are still ridiculously high,
Yeah,
but I mean, we know how Zach shoots. There's a ton of lift in that jump shot.
exactly.
So if your knee's hurt,
It affects your whole job. And there's this narrative as well that Zach LaVine didn't show up. And I think it's because the Bulls didn't beat a lot of the top teams. I just want to go over his averages, and I'll focus on the points. And I will, because I don't want to extend this a whole another 10 minutes or whatever. So let's look at some of the playoff teams, right? Against Denver, he averaged 34 points against Denver in 2 games against Denver this season. Now, Golden State, I'm going to point it out. He only averaged in
He's
2 games
pretty
against Golden State. He averaged 11 and a half points. That's
yeah,
terrible.
both them games was pretty weak.
We'll against Memphis.
Well, no. Was he gone for the second one?
He was gone. That he left in that second. That's
he got hurt in the second
one.
one.
He got
hurt
he
in the
left
second
after before the first half.
Yeah.
Against Memphis this season, 28 points per game against Memphis this season. Against Miami, 26 points per game against Miami this season. Come on, give me against Philly, 27.7 points per game against Philly, which I know they just got eliminated, but again, a top team. Anybody that I missed there, you want me to mention?
Did he play a game in season versus Milwaukee? I mean, Milwaukee is the whole playoff series. So what? 19, 6 and 5.
25.5 in the regular season, 25.5 points per game against Milwaukee in the regular season.
A lot of 25s there, bro.
Exactly.
A lot of 25 and ups there.
For people who are saying that Zach LaVine doesn't show up against top teams because the Bulls did lose against a lot of top teams, I need you to actually look it up and know what you're talking about. Zach LaVine was consistent. You saw it. Pat just said it. A lot of 25s. That's consistency.
Pluses. There's a lot of 25 pluses in there.
So,
I'm not gonna lie to you. There was more in there than I was expecting, because I know some of those games he definitely did. Like, I think the Boston game he cooked in. Maybe the
second half.
The last Boston game, one of those he didn't show. It was one of where I was like, oh, you gotta show me a little bit more. But also post knee injury. I don't know, man. I'd say this, right? If you were gonna make a bet on it, listen. Check out BetOnline. I'll bet you they got a prop bet on Zach LaVine re-signing right now. They do so many different things there. They've got the live prop builders over there as well. Make sure to check out BetOnline. We appreciate them for being the #1 source for all your betting and sports info. You can find all the latest odds, news, and sports development, including this year's NBA playoffs and Major League Baseball scores, fights, even next season's NFL futures. We had the schedule drop yesterday, so we're going to enjoy seeing what they've got on the NFL going on with that, man. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. Head to the website today and use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. And before we get to that final segment where we're going to be breaking down AK in the Executive of the Year voting, Haize, they got some live props up right now. Will there be overtime in tomorrow's Memphis Golden State game, or tonight's Memphis Golden State game, I should say? Yes is a plus. What is that? 1035? Oh, plus 1,000. No is a minus 10,000.
I'm going no, because after that embarrassment, and Steph Curry's the pettiest player in the NBA.
So here might be the one for you, right? The race to 20 points. Golden State Warriors a minus 201. Memphis a plus 165.
Why are we spending so much time talking about other teams?
I don't know, dog, because this is what you're supposed to do with the BetOnline. BetOnline, where the game starts. Forget it, man. Let's go.
This is the realest podcast you'll find on Locked On. I'm just telling y'all that right
I ain't gonna
now,
lie to you. It's not the worst read Locked On's ever had. Shout out BetOnline, man.
All right, man. So before we go, we got to talk about it. Our own our basketball of operations, head of basketball operations, AK, finished second place in NBA Executive of the Year award. And who won that? The GM of the Memphis Grizzlies. And me and Pat, before we started recording, because me and Pat are both petty as hell. So we were trying to determine what the Memphis Grizzlies GM did this season that deserved him an Executive of the Year award. Now, we know that Memphis Grizzlies had a great record. We know that they're a great team. They're still in the playoff hunt as of right now. They had a big win over the Golden State Warriors in the last game. But every piece of that team, for the most part, every piece of that team that's contributing, that's a big-time contributor to their success this season, was brought in last season. So what is the criteria for the Executive of the Year?
I'm trying to, I don't know. I don't know, dog. Like I'm still looking it up, right? Because it's got to be the 2021 offseason.
Mm-hmm.
It says they acquired Eric Bledsoe, Steven Adams, and the rights to Zaire Williams in the draft. Good move.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Butler. They sent Valanciunas to the Pelicans. So is this even 2021 or is this 2020? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's technically 2021, but that's last year 2021.
But that's last year, right?
Season,
so it's the 2021 season. So you almost got to do 2022. And I have a tough time, right? Like, even with how the Bulls finished the season, seeing what Memphis did, not to say that team's not really good, not to say that the GM didn't have a part of that, but if we're talking about this season, right, I would assume that we're talking about this offseason for your GM of the year or your NBA basketball executive of the year award. By the way, all these NBA awards looking mad cheap right now. Like they went to Hobby Lobby to get them all made, man. They gotta step their game back up. Don't even look gold no more. But my problem isn't even that AK lost. It's that he lost in a landslide.
Yeah.
16 first place votes for Memphis. For Zach. What's his name? Kleiman? I can't say it. Kleiman. 1 second place vote, 2 third place votes. He got 85 points. AK got 1 first place vote. And an offseason where he got Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan. You can't really count Vooch, but can you? Like, here's my thing. Even if we count last season, his last season moves was pretty good.
I mean, when you have a player that people said was the most overrated signing and they have the best season of their career in the same season that you traded for.
Broke a Wilt record.
Come on, man.
I'm confused. And I'll be real with you. I would almost be more mad if I was a Cleveland fan than a Bulls fan, because Kobe Adaman absolutely should have had that mug.
Absolutely. Especially when you look at how some of their moves, people coming into this season were even lower on
drafted AK, or he drafted Io.
Yeah.
Like, if we take the
AK,
draft
we
picks
forgot about that too.
He drafted Io. Like, I don't know, dog.
So when you look at the moves that, for example, Kobe Atman over at Cleveland made, so since August, right? That's this offseason. He acquired Lauri Markkanen, re-signed Jared Allen, drafted Evan Mobley.
That's good. You really throwing that Lowry one in there? I don't know about that.
Listen, I'm telling you, Lauri was a big part of what they did. I'm not saying that. Listen, Lauri is what it is. I got to see several seasons of Lauri. I know Lauri very intimately. He's not that much to shake his head at, but he did help them contribute.
You go see Smith on me right there. I know Lowry intimately. We have shared grapes together.
They acquired Karis LeVert at the trade deadline this season.
You know what? That might be why he got second place. I'm not gonna lie to you, because Karis LeVert did absolutely nothing for them.
Yeah. So, but I mean, he was active in this season. The only thing that the Memphis Grizzlies GM did this season in August was acquire Steven Adams, who played well for them over the course of the season, but has been not playing at all in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, he's getting run late at the last 2 games, but yeah, for the most part, they haven't been able to play him just because of speed and size. I don't know. Like, I don't. Here's my thing. It's the same conversation. I'm not finna rehash it, right? We just had this conversation yesterday about the MVP. Is this even the best storyline, though? Like, I don't know what the criteria is for this.
I
don't know where the cutoff is for this.
Are a better storyline as far as deals being made this season than anything Memphis. Now, Memphis has a better storyline because of their run to the playoffs, because of Ja's season, because of the personalities, because of all that. But Is that what we're giving credit for? When it's not like they acquired Ja this season. You feel me?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think my biggest problem with it is how much of a landslide it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even, y'all gotta understand, it's not close. It's 85 total points for Zach Klayman, 27 for Adam, and 27 for AK, 26 for James Jones, who I get if we're giving well, he got it last year. 26 for Pat Riley. What Miami, like PJ Tucker?
Also Lowry. That was this.
Okay, I get you that. Brad Stevens in Boston got 20. Ime Udoka higher. Is that what? Hold on, are we forgetting? We might have to retract a little bit. When did they hire the coach? See, last year or this year?
That's a good question.
If it's the coach might be the one that puts him over the top. We might have to retract a little bit of what we're saying.
I didn't think about the coach. You're right. We
did not think. This is live on air. Yeah, I'm sorry, live on podcast. This is live on the podcast because we were really trying to figure this out. Because it didn't make sense. Like all the moves that AK made.
Coach Jenkins was hired, who was their coach, was hired June 11th, 2019.
He's got nothing. We're back on his heels. We're back on his heels. He's got nothing. How did you beat AK? Like, this is the most wild disrespect. I mean, dog, like really, like I could have seen Cleveland winning. Of course, I could have seen Chicago because it's the Bulls. Mm-hmm. I could have seen Brad Stevens winning because he got Ime Udoka. Like, that's a big get. You left being a coach that could get your team to the Eastern Conference, being a rookie GM in a spot, and you brought in the right head coach for a team that is right now fighting for a chance to get to the ECF. Like, that's a good move. Masai Ujiri in Toronto, the fact that team's even competitive, they could be in there. Hey, listen, Daryl Morey's got 5 points. Take 5 of Daryl Morey's points and give them to anybody else in here. Because he deserves 0 points after the performance that we saw James Harden put on in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, dog. Like, my blood pressure's up, man. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, man. That's wild. But let us know down below what you guys think, man, about that G. Do you think AK was robbed? Because I'm starting to think, especially when you look at the fact, like, even
I think AK was robbed.
Let's go some of the underrated deals. AK got Derrick Jones Jr. back for a team that we knew we weren't re-signing Larry. He still got that to turn that into a signing trade so that we got some assets back. Now, I know some people take issue that we didn't get Nance back instead of Derrick Jones Jr., and I understand that. But still. Still.
Man. He's somebody I wanted to, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I messed with Larry Nance.
And I think that you remember when that deal was initially reported.
Hold on. David Griffin has 1 point.
What?
David Griffin got 1 third-place vote. Y'all are the writers be tweaking. Man, the dude that brought in CJ McCollum.
Come on, man. Come on, fam.
I'm literally just going through. I'm like, it's some names I'm missing.
We got to get up out of here because I'm just going to get more and more frustrated, bro. Petty's going to come out. I'm going to put on a hat specifically just to turn it backwards. And I ain't even wearing a hat right now. Like, come on.
Wow.
Come on. Pat, give him the social media, man. Let's get up out of here before I get fired from Locked On.
Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer, PATTHEDESIGNER. Yes, I did go to public school, but they taught me how to spell. Thank God they didn't teach me how to write because good. Apparently, I'd have been voting awfully on this month. I don't know. That was a weird take. I messed. Anyway, follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls as well, man. We got the Instagram bus and we got the Twitter bus, and get into it with us on that.
Hey, listen, I got to give you some credit for the way that you posted the 2 clips that you posted today. I got those notifications. I was like, you know what? I'll be damned. Shout out to Pat the Designer.
We working out here, baby. We working. We trying to make. I keep telling y'all, we trying to make Locked On Bulls the #1 podcast for the Chicago Bulls out here, man. Shout out to them boys that's doing their thing over on the other networks, but you're not getting 2 black dudes talking NBA like this, bro.
All right, listen. Now we definitely have to cut it. You can follow me at CEO Haize, at CEOHAIZE. You can follow me on every social media platform there. Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. Now, for your second listen, go and listen to Locked On NBA, where you can hear the Locked On experts take a deep dive inside the playoffs with insight and analysis affecting all 30 teams. You can even catch our very own Pat the Designer over there once a week. But that is it from us for today. We out. We love you guys. Peace, y'all.
Peace.